God!
I don't know. I just don't feel that spark anymore. I mean, a honeymoon. Ah, so much rug burn.
These are episodes from seasons 2 through 4 of Family Guy that prove the writers had absolutely zero boundaries when it came to character relationships. From a baby and a dog acting like a married couple to an old man who should probably be on a list.
Chris, stop!
Stop catching
Chris, my hat!
it! Wear it now!
This is how Family Guy quietly built some of the most uncomfortable dynamics in animated television history. And it all started earlier than you think. Let's start the show. Before Stewie and Brian became television's strangest couple, they were just a genius baby and an alcoholic dog living under the same roof. But in Season 2, Episode 13, Road to Rhode Island, the show paired them up for the very first time. And honestly, they never looked back. The setup is simple. Brian flies out to pick up Stewie from his grandparents' summer home. Easy trip, right? Grab the baby, get on a plane, go home.
Wait here at the gate. I gotta run a quick errand.
Aren't you a little young to be traveling alone?
But Brian, being Brian, gets drunk and loses their plane tickets.
Oh, here's a pleasant sight. Cirrhosis the wonder dog.
I'm not drunk, all right? I just have a speech impediment.
So now, a talking dog and a diabolical infant are stranded together with no way home.
Hey!
What follows is a full cross-country road trip, just the two of them, bickering like an old couple on a vacation that's gone sideways.
Oh, that's pretty.
They argue, they annoy each other, they get on each other's nerves in ways that feel way too personal for a dog and a baby.
Wake up!
Oh God, what are we doing here?
Oh, we needed a weekend away from the kids. You know, just us. We have to get the out of here!
But then, and here's where it gets weird, they start performing musical duets together, like full-on, choreographed, looking into each other's eyes duets, on a road trip, alone.
We're off on the road to Rhode Island.
This episode basically invented the Road to format that the show would use over and over again for years. And every single one of those episodes leans harder into the idea that Brian and Stewie aren't just roommates or family members, they're a duo, a pair.
I say, walk slower, dog. My huggies are already holed up in Box Canyon.
The show even got an Emmy nomination for this episode, Outstanding Animated Program. So the Television Academy watched a baby and a dog slow dance their way across America and said, yeah, that deserves recognition. And look, on its own, this episode is charming. It's funny. It's a buddy comedy. But knowing what comes later, the jealousy, the love confessions, the literal bank vault episode, this is the origin story.
Hey, kid. Listen, thanks for not ratting me out. Is there anything I can do to pay you back?
Oh, yes.
This is where the most weirdly sus relationship in the entire show quietly began, and nobody saw it coming. Stewie and Brian are the sus relationship that sneaks up on you over time. But what arrives in Season 3, Episode 12, hits like a freight train from the very first frame. This episode introduced Herbert, and nothing about that man was ever designed to be subtle.
What?
Come on over here, son. That's a nice muscly throwing arm you got there.
Thanks.
To Love and Die in Dixie covers a lot of ground as an episode, with the Griffins relocating to the Deep South after Chris witnesses a robbery and enters witness protection.
Criminal will stop at nothing to find your son, so we're placing your family in the witness protection program.
Before any of that kicks in, though, one small detail reshapes the show permanently, because Chris picks up a paper route. On that route, Chris passes the house of an elderly man with a high, wheezy voice and a walker, who calls out to invite him inside.
You like popsicles?
Well, sure.
Then you need to come on down to the cellar. I got a whole freezer full of popsicles.
According to Herbert, there's a whole freezer full of popsicles waiting down in his cellar, and he'd love for Chris to come see them. A full freezer, stored in a cellar, offered by a strange old man to a teenage boy he just met. From his very first scene, the show never tried to disguise what Herbert represents, and the joke landed entirely through discomfort rather than surprise. The commitment to the bit became clear by the episode's end, when the Griffins return from witness protection and discover 113 messages sitting on their answering machine.
I have 113 new messages.
Yeah, I was just wondering, where the newspaper boy was.
Every single one left by Herbert, all asking the same question about where the paperboy went. 113 voicemails from an old man about a teenage boy. And the show's response to that concept was to turn him into a recurring character. When you sit with it, that ranks as one of the most unhinged creative decisions in the history of animated comedy. The writers looked at Herbert and decided to bring him back repeatedly for years, which is exactly what they did.
Sorry to leave you so many messages. Just lonely here, wishing he'd come by and bring me some good news.
Family Guy returned from cancellation with something to prove, and the very first episode of the revival, Season 4, Episode 1, North by North Quahog, wasted zero time re-establishing what Stewie and Brian's dynamic had become. Peter and Lois leave Quahog for the main plot, which means someone needs to hold down the house and watch the kids, a job that falls to Brian.
You know, Brian, if I choose to make stool in my pants right now, you're the only one here to change me. What do you think of that?
I'm not gonna change you.
What?
What's supposed to be straightforward babysitting collapses almost immediately because Brian and Stewie don't settle into a caretaker and child routine at all. They slide into something that looks exactly like a marriage falling apart.
So I guess it's up to me.
You mean it's up to us? Clearly you need my help with this parenting thing. You're too stupid to do it alone.
Household decisions become arguments. Petty nonsense turns into full-blown snapping at each other, and the energy between them stops resembling a dog watching a baby and starts resembling two people who've shared a life together for too long.
Oh no, I just always feel badly when we have to be strict.
None of this plays as subtext either. The show presents it directly as the main dynamic of the episode. Timing makes this one land differently than the others. Millions of people tuned in for the big comeback to see whether Family Guy still worked after years off the air, and the show's creative answer was to put a baby and a dog in a situation where they act like they share a mortgage.
It seems your son Jake had some vodka at the school dance, and Chris got blamed for it.
That was the thesis statement for the rest of the series, delivered in the very first episode back. From this point forward, Stewie and Brian weren't just characters who occasionally shared screen time. They became the central double act of the entire show. Every Road to episode, every emotional arc, and every weirdly tender moment between them traces back to what North by North Quahog established. Peter and Lois left town, and Brian and Stewie became a couple, and the show committed to that idea with its whole chest.
You actually put Coke in that kid's locker?
Yep.
Wow, where'd you get it?
Oh, I got a guy.
Don't let it get the best of you. I used to be a lawyer.
While Stewie and Brian played house and Herbert collected answering machine messages, Glenn Quagmire occupied himself by reminding everyone that he stands as the most aggressively inappropriate human being in all of Quahog. Season 4, Episode 3, Blind Ambition, takes what audiences already suspected about Quagmire and confirms it in the most dramatic way the show had attempted up to that point. Quagmire gets arrested in this episode, and the reason behind it lands exactly where you'd expect, because he's caught hiding in the ceiling of a women's restroom while spying on Lois. Not a stranger, not someone he barely knows, but his best friend's wife, the woman who lives across the street and invites him over for dinner. Real fallout follows that arrest, at least by Family Guy standards.
You know, you're lucky I've got some extra pull around here, thanks to my 18 medals for heroism.
Hey, Joe, if you love your medals so much, why don't you marry him?
Lois, Bonnie, and Loretta band together with the neighborhood women to petition for Quagmire's complete removal from Quahog.
Excuse me? He's the one who owes me an apology. He was watching me go to the bathroom.
Going through proper channels to get him evicted permanently. They want him gone, and the effort is genuine. Because this is Family Guy, Quagmire doesn't actually leave, and the resolution allows him to stay under the condition that he controls his behavior, which anyone who watched a single episode afterward knows he absolutely never does.
This exercise should help teach you self-control.
Here's this month's Victoria's Secret catalog.
Oh God, oh God.
What matters about Blind Ambition, though, is what it changed about the character's framing.
Okay, I think I'm ready. Oh boy.
What's the matter, Glenn?
Nothing.
Up until this point, Quagmire operated mostly as a harmless womanizer, a sleazy guy who says giggity and pushes things too far at parties. This episode crossed a line by making it clear that Quagmire isn't just someone who likes women, he's someone who commits premeditated crimes to satisfy his obsessions.
Where am I? Am I dead?
No, this is where we monitor all the dressing rooms in the mall so we can keep an eye out for shoplifters.
You don't say.
Climbing into a ceiling required planning, equipment, and intent. And the neighborhood's reaction, the petition, the outrage, the near eviction, confirmed that even within the show's own universe, the other characters recognize how disturbing this behavior is and actively try to remove him from their lives.
Amazing! You saved her life! Thank God you know CPR!
What the hell's CPR?
He stays anyway, because of course he does, and everything that follows gets progressively worse. Blind Ambition marked the moment Quagmire stopped functioning as a punchline and started functioning as a problem, and the show simply let him keep going. Herbert debuted in Season 3 with popsicle offers and over 100 answering machine messages, and Season 4, Episode 16, decided to hand him an entire storyline, one that manages to land as even more uncomfortable than his introduction. The courtship of Stewie's father opens with Chris accidentally breaking Herbert's window with a baseball, a simple enough accident that leads to Herbert, playing the role of nice old neighbor, telling Chris he can work off the debt by handling some chores around the house.
Chris, you have damaged this man's property, and until you pay off the debt, you'll do whatever job he wants you to do.
On any other show, that setup produces a wholesome subplot about a kid learning responsibility. On Family Guy, with Herbert, what actually unfolds can only be described as a courtship.
You know, if you get sweaty and want to take your shirt off, that'd be just fine.
Herbert brings Chris to a fine dining restaurant. Not a diner, not a fast food counter, but a proper sit-down place. The kind of venue reserved for dates.
Near photograph?
Yes.
While there, Herbert arranges for a souvenir photo of the two of them together, framed exactly like a prom picture. None of this is played as accidental or ambiguous. The moment that truly seals this episode arrives when Herbert launches into a full musical number, performing Somewhere That's Green from Little Shop of Horrors.
There's plastic on the furniture to keep it neat and clean.
That song, written about a woman dreaming of quiet domestic life with the man she loves, plays over a fantasy sequence of Herbert imagining a shared life with Chris, playing house, building a routine, living together. A love ballad about romantic domestic bliss, performed by an elderly man, directed at a teenage boy, animated as a full fantasy sequence. What the writers accomplished here went beyond acknowledging what Herbert represents. They constructed an entire character arc around it, complete with a 3-course dinner scene, a souvenir photo op, and a Broadway-style musical number. Someone in a writer's room pitched giving the creepy old man a love ballad, the room agreed, and the animators brought it to life.
Are you dead?
Herbert stopped being a one-note background gag after this episode and became a fully developed recurring character with actual screen time and emotional beats, which is a sentence that should probably concern somebody.
Well, Jesse, I guess we gotta find some other way to spend our evenings.
And now back to ESPN's exclusive coverage of the Little League World Series.
Oh, jackpot!
The sus romance, the sus neighbor, and the sus friend have all been covered, but the sus relationship sitting right at the center of the Griffin family itself still needs attention, and that's Peter and Meg. Season 4, Episode 27, Untitled Griffin Family History, functions primarily as a home invasion story rather than a Peter and Meg episode. but it contains a sequence that captures everything wrong with how Peter treats his own daughter, and the brutality of it sticks. Burglars break into the Griffin house, and the family scrambles into their panic room, with Peter, Lois, Stewie, and Brian all piling inside where they're safe.
Here's Stewie's room, Chris's room, Meg's room. Peter, there's no phone in here. How are we gonna call the police?
Oh my god, we're all gonna die!
A problem surfaces when someone needs to go through the ventilation pipe and head out into the house, and without hesitation, the family sends Meg.
Dad, I can't go through the vent!
Yeah, she's right. We need to grease her up so she doesn't get stuck. Everybody spit on Meg!
Stop! Stop! You got
Not Brian, who qualifies as an adult. Not Peter, who carries the title of father and protector of the household. They send the teenage girl out into a home where armed burglars are actively working.
Hey, I hate you too, bitch. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. Can you imagine?
And that's when it shifts from neglect into something darker. Once Meg is out there, alone and separated from her family with criminals in the house, Peter's first priority isn't her safety. It isn't checking whether she's okay, and it isn't forming any kind of plan to bring her back. Peter asks her to make him a sandwich. His daughter is trapped in a house with burglars, and he wants food.
Oh no, the burglars got my baby!
What follows makes it worse, because Peter then announces Meg's location over a loudspeaker, literally broadcasting where the vulnerable teenage girl is hiding to the people robbing his house.
Meg's our daughter.
This doesn't register as slapstick, and it doesn't play as Peter being accidentally stupid. A father actively endangers his daughter and then amplifies the danger for his own convenience, and the show frames it as comedy. Lois doesn't step in, Brian stays quiet, Stewie couldn't care less, and Meg exists in that moment as completely expendable.
No sale.
Come on! I'm pretty!
Are you okay?
Yeah, I was so scared.
That dynamic sits at the core of the Peter and Meg relationship across the entire series. Peter isn't a bad father to everyone equally. A real relationship exists between him and Chris, certain moments connect him with Stewie, and he loves Lois in his own chaotic way. With Meg, though, something different operates, something colder. She doesn't register as his daughter in any meaningful way during these scenes, functioning instead as a tool, an afterthought, someone he can sacrifice or mock or ignore without facing a single consequence. Untitled Griffin family history didn't invent that dynamic, but it displayed it so clearly that it became impossible to unsee.
Oh, thank God.
Your daughter's a sexual predator. You don't do anything, she could go to jail for a long time. All right, guys, just take her away.
Dad!